Hi, my name is Apollo. How would you like to be finished with your script and know what to do with it? Well, I will take you to the next step by movie consulting every single step on demand and with predictability. I will be there from the beginning to the end. The movie making effect. When you put your mindset to finishing something, you will complete it. If you have the proper paperwork to complete something, you will complete it. You have the map that's going to take you to the next step. And when you don't have the proper stuff, most directors, writers, and producers write their movie and pull their hair out. Now, what do I do to make my movie? What's my next step? Where do I go from here? I'm lost. The harsh truth for most is now I need help to make my movie. I need help to make this movie production. I have to move on to the next step. Only movie directors, writers, producers, they're the only people with the proper paperwork can say, when I start my production, this movie will be completed. With the proper tools, you'll complete a car. With the proper tools, you'll make sure that plane don't go down. With the proper tools, you need the proper tools to make it happen. I'm also going to share with you the biggest mistakes most directors, writers, producers are making when it comes down to completing their movie is no production paperwork. How are you supposed to do anything without paperwork, without a roadmap? How are you supposed to get to where you're going to go without a roadmap? Your paperwork is your roadmap. The three things that directors, writers, and producers have is a script, a budget, and the willpower to get it done. But production paperwork, they do not. The simple proven movie making consultant method that helps and shows you how to put this to work starting right now to complete your project. That's what I'm here for, to prove to you that making your movie is a lot simpler than pulling your hair out and having the proper paperwork. You have your roadmap to what you're going to do day by day, the budget, the money that's going to be spent, who's going to be catering to you, everything. Everything is contracted and signed. I give you all the contracts for everything you need, even the catering. So, if you are a director, writer, producer looking for a helping hand to complete your movie and explore your options to take your movie to the next level, then you're definitely in the right place. Now, the movie making business, I'm sure you've noticed a lot of people, they fall into this one of two categories. That's what they fall into in this movie business. One, movie maker wannabes. People who try to make a movie without no budget and no paperwork. Those are the movies that look like they were struggling. Even if you make a movie on your iPhone, you're gonna need to have paperwork. You gotta build out a map. You even draw yourself a small budget, even if you're using your iPhone. So you know what you're looking for. And you have that. You have it in your map. When you want to look at that scene, you go right to the scene. You go straight to the storyboards. Everything is directly in your book. And that's all part of your paperwork. Two are the movie makers. People who are absolutely crushing it, making movies and more movies, building their resumes, and love doing it. With the proper production paperwork, you get your movie completed. You have a full movie that you could submit to film festivals, that you could submit to people or submit to backers, people that back you up with money for your next budget. Everything has to be done properly. You need the proper production paperwork. After talking to dozens of directors, writers, producers, and being in this industry for years, I've been doing this for plenty of years. Since I was 16, I've been playing with cameras. So I've been doing this, and I realized that movie makers have the movie industry locked, while the movie maker wannabes only have what they think they know most of the time. You think you know so much, and you went out there and you spent all this money on something that you didn't get the outcome you was looking for. Why? You didn't have the proper paperwork to proceed. You didn't have the map to movie making. And the truth is that if you have the proper consulting and production paperwork for your movie, it becomes very easy and efficient way to complete your movie. And more than your movie. The editing. I do editing. Premiere Pro editing. Avid editing. DaVinci editing. Sound. All of that. The best way I can describe this to you with a story about one of my films. This is the history of one of my films that I've worked on. So the production company calls me and asks me to be their DP for their movie. They had told me that they had the Red Dragon and all the equipment needed to make this movie happen. But all I have to worry about is the Red Dragon, which is a Red cinema camera. It's one of the top dogs. So they told me that I wouldn't have to bring anything, and I would be using their Red camera. So I said, let's talk about this. Let me send you a contract, and this way I know what I'm going down there to do. So I sent them a contract, and he signed it. He sent it back. He sent me his contract. I signed it saying I was going to be the DP, and that was it. Then he sent it back. And they also told me that they had a full production, a crew, the whole full production crew and producers there. So I'm like, yo, this is gonna be great. They have producers, that means the paperwork is done. Your producer is responsible for taking care of your paperwork. It's called the production book. Yes, the director's book is in there too, but it's called the production book. It should be with the producer, and everybody should have their share of that, a copy of each part of that book to make this happen in each crew. So they paid me to leave to go see and be their director of photography in Georgia. I drove from the Catskills, New York to Georgia for this production. They did take care of my traveling. They refused to take care of my room and board, which if anybody refuses to take care of your room and board while you're doing a job for them, it is your job as producer to make sure everybody has room and board and they eat while they're on your production set. It is mandatory. If the production people are not doing that for you, you are doomed with that production company. They will starve you to save money. When I arrived there at the lighting studio in Georgia, they didn't have anything they claimed to have had. They didn't have anything they claimed to have had. I was so upset about it. I asked them for the paperwork. I said, listen, no production paperwork, no crew, no camera equipment. OMG. 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 OM. No production paperwork, no crew, no camera equipment. So I had to call an emergency meeting. This is called a production meeting. And you guys need to sit there and start planning, doing a script breakdown and getting all the production paperwork done right then and there. It needed to be done. I explained to them I will not move forward until I have the production paperwork. And terrible feeling to go to a site and not have any type of paperwork. You should have had this paperwork before you left. They didn't have anything. That means we have to go out and rent equipment. We have to go out and get a crew. We have to make things happen. All I saw there was 50 to 75 actors. So I asked the executive producer, why are these actors here? Oh, those are the actors for the movie. Why are they here? Oh, we're just making sure that they eat good and everything. Why are you doing that? Is that part of your budget? Oh, yeah, I got that. I said, oh, this is why I explained to you. You need to get this paperwork done because this would not have happened right now. You wouldn't have had all your actors for your movie come here and scrounge off of your food. Everything is done day by day. The actors that are needed is done on your on your script breakdown. We put it through movie magic to make sure that everything is calculated correctly. What are you guys doing here? There's no production paperwork. This is what I went through during this meeting. Terrible feeling. Trying my best to hold my composure and not just walk out of there and just get up and leave. I wanted to make sure that I got my money to get back. So I didn't want to just leave just like that, because he wouldn't have given my money to get back after I traveled there. But either way, make sure you get your money to get there and get back before you leave. I'm telling you from my experiences, there's so many downfalls to making a movie. When you got the proper coaching, you avoid the issues and the obstacles that take you down in making a movie. I sat in my hotel room for the next 2 days. I mean, I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, doing the paperwork until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, trying to get the paperwork done so we could complete this movie. And it was a full movie. It wasn't a short. I explained to him the budget that he has is not going to complete this movie. And all he did was tell me, you gotta get it done. And I explained to him, in the budget that I have right here on paper, it's showing you cannot complete this movie the way you're doing this. You want to do this movie in 7 days. According to the paperwork, budget breakdown and everything, that's not gonna work, sir. It's not going to work. We are gonna crash and burn here. We don't even have a crew. So we have to go out and hire people. That's taking more time. More money has to be budgeted into the budget because we didn't expect this to happen. So you will crash and burn. You will be stuck. I had to pull out all my production equipment out of my truck so we could complete the movie. They were so lucky that I had brought my own production equipment as backup. I brought all my own stuff as backup. So I had to draw up a contract, rent it to them at a very cheap price because their budget was 0 to nothing after I did the budget breakdown. The way they had it and the way they were doing their movie for 7 days was impossible. I explained to them, to do a feature movie, you will not do it in 7 days. We had to hire a crew to help with this production. I had to hire an AC. I was the DP. I had the director was there, but then he left. So he was there a percentage of the time, and then he left and left the DP to direct and everything. That's not what you do. The director has his own position in this. He has his own position. He has to deal with the actors directly. He is their directing coach. He's looking for a certain thing and he's coaching them what they want. You don't want to go through a nightmare without production paperwork being proper. The budget and the director, the budget that the director started with was not enough to cover the whole film. I explained that to him. I said, listen, the budget that you have is not enough to cover this film. I'm letting you know that. You have this written out for 7 days, and there's no way you're going to do this in 7 days. The church scene alone is going to take 7 days. And you have 13 other scenes in other places and other locations. So you got to understand, the reason why I did the script breakdown and I did the budgeting is so I know and I could show you on paper proof of what is going on. This is what you have in hand. You're going to try something that's not going to work. I don't care how much you keep on saying you're going to do it, we can't do it. And we went out to still try to do it. So I didn't travel all those miles for nothing. I produced and filmed the whole movie for him. I directed a percentage of this movie. And since I didn't put any of that on paper, the only credit that I got was director of photography. None of my production was included. He took all the production credits. He took all the rights for everything I did. I used my sound equipment. I even did sound. Sometimes they left me by myself. I was directing. I was using a lighting boom to be over the actor as my sound. And I was directing and I was director of photography at the same time. Some of the spots were so small, I had to do things by myself. But things just got worse from there. They had hired security that they paid for. These guys had guns. Everybody has guns in Georgia. Why is everybody packing a gun? I got prop guns. I got prop money. I got prop stuff. I'm not packing no pistols. These guys, they had guns and everything. This is what I felt. I felt protected. I felt my stuff was protected. They hired him to watch the equipment, and one of my film cameras was stolen because the security decided that he wanted to go and rap to a girl somewhere else inside the church or the scene where we was at and watch us instead of doing his job. But this is things that happen on the set and things that a lot of people don't open up to you and let you know what's going to happen if you do this. And if you don't get this done right, you have to have your permits, your police, or whatever's needed. If you got guns, you have to have police. If you got fire department, if you have fire, you have to have the fire department. There's permits, paperwork, everything is included in this, and it's in your production paperwork. It is very important to have that, so nobody takes your film equipment. This was one of the worst nightmares I've ever had in my life. Things just didn't work out. Without the planning of proper work, things just don't work out. You have to plan. You have to do the paperwork. You have to do the paperwork. It has to be done correctly. If you don't do the paperwork correctly, you're assed out, dude. This is not going to work for you. You will spend money that you did not expect to spend. And you're like, damn, man, I'm always going in my pocket. I've been through this more than a dozen times. These are people that are telling me, oh, I need you to help me with my movie. Do you got the paperwork? No, I don't have no paperwork, but come on, just please come and help me. I go out and just me being the nice person I am, I go out and I help. But I have to charge accordingly, especially that they don't have everything that's needed. The paperwork has everything you need. The proper planning. There were days I was by myself. I had to direct. I had to produce. I had to gaff, AC, do the sound. I promised myself I will never, 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 never let this happen to me again. I will never put myself through this headache of not having the proper paperwork for this production. They also didn't have an editor, and they wanted me to edit for them also. I mean, sir, I explained to you that I have a full schedule. Set up my schedule so I could go out and do filming, but I only scheduled you for 2 weeks. After those 2 weeks, I have to go to Jersey and I have another film I have to complete. I started that film already. They let me go to come here to help you, and I got to go back and complete this film because, just like I said, the budgeting for the other film wasn't correct either, so they couldn't pay. And all of this is done in your paperwork. You'll know exactly what's going to happen if you look at your roadmap. You have a roadmap for this. Planning and the proper paperwork will resolve this problem completely. It will resolve this problem completely for you. I will show you a little history about movie making and their flops. You know, I'm just going to discuss a couple things that I think sometimes is important in movie making. Theater and dance has been around for thousands of years. Many of the elements in theater and dance are the basis of the modern movie making industry, such as script. Without your script, what are you going to do? Now you need the proper lighting. You need the proper sound. The costumes to portray your movie. The proper actors. That's why they have a casting director, because this is what they do. They cast the actors you need. You just can't pick your friends and say, yo, this is the actor that I want. No. Every character has its own tone. And you have to get an actor that could fit that tone. And you need the director, you need the producer, you need the writer. There's so many other people involved in this production. Just the crew alone. The crew alone. It matters how big your production is. The bigger the production, the more crew you have to hire, because it's the bigger the production you need. It's bigger lighting. You need gaffers. You need grips. You need electrics. You need all these people to make this happen for you. To make sure, you need somebody to make sure that your film and your movie stays in continuity. The movie camera, film camera, or cinema camera is a type of photographic camera which takes a rapid sequence of photographs on an image sensor or on a film. So, just like your paperwork, everything links up together to make that map happen. Just like your movie, just like it says right there, it uses a sensor to make your film. It takes picture after picture and it continues picture after picture, frame after frame to make your movie. In contrast to a still camera, which captures a single snapshot at a time, the movie camera takes a series of images, blah, 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 one after another. An image continues a frame. And each part of your production book is a frame. In order to complete your movie, you need to put a whole bunch of frames together to make your movie. And in your production paperwork, it's the same. Here's a list of box office bombs. Ho, ho, ho. There's a lot of box office bombs out there. And that's due to the writing. Some of the directorial was bad. And this is not even over the production paperwork. They probably had beautiful production paperwork. It's some of the writers, some of the stories, some of the genres that they're going for it didn't go across to the people correctly. It just wasn't what they were looking for. It wasn't a movie that excited them. And, you know, people have different taste. Why does Hollywood make movies they know will fail at the box office? Because they get the budget. Since they have a budget and they have donors that are putting all this money up to make this movie happen, this is what's happening in the motion picture industry. A box office bomb or a box office flop is a film that is considered highly unsuccessful or unprofitable during its theatrical run, often following significant hype regarding its cost, production, and marketing efforts. After they spent all that money, your movie's still a bomb. It sucked. They're like, oh, that movie sucks. Generally, any film for which the production and making cost exceeds the combination revenue recovered after releasing is considered to have bombed. All that effort and everything. So there are movies that you may think that's going to be the best in the world, and they hit the ground, man. They just don't go the way they have to go. And a lot of these movies are because the production paperwork wasn't good at all. I'm not talking about in the industry. In the industry, you have to have your paperwork correctly. If you don't, you are not accepted. Nobody makes a movie that they know will fail. Movies cost too much. They cost too much to throw away. So you have to make sure you budget this correctly, you do all your paperwork correctly, and you have your map before you start. You have a full map. Most movie makers take a different approach to things. Most movie makers of today, they write a script and go and start filming with their friends to save money, and they think they're making a movie, and they're like, yo, this shit look like crap, yo. I can't even edit this right. Because there's different camera angles. This is all in your paperwork. Different lenses you're gonna use. How many cameras are in the shot? How many angles you're gonna take? All of this is in your paperwork. It has to be done. This is all in your production paperwork. If it's not there with the acting beats, which I never see any of you directors doing. None of you directors make acting beats? How is the actor gonna know what to do exactly? They gotta know this. They gotta know what the acting beats are for. Yes, anybody could be a film director, writer, producer, but there is a proper way to make a movie, so you can direct the movie properly. The way that matches the writer's vision, the vision of the writer. That's what the director's there for, to direct the movie to match the vision of the writer. Listen, that writer wrote this thing up for a reason, and now the reason is for me to put it on film. That's what I'm going to direct, so I need the proper paperwork, so I have the map. The map is so important. Now, I want to pause for a moment and let this next point really sink in. I really need this next point to sink in because it's the exact opposite to what almost everybody else out there is feeding you. Everybody is singing you a song and dance and this and that. Yo, let's just do it. We could get this done. Blah, 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 blah. But nobody's putting up no money. Nobody's there's no, you're just going out of your pocket, and you just realize I just had a bank account with $10,000 and now I got $5 left. Today in the movie industry, movie makers continue to repeating the history of movie failures. Those movie failures, there's a lot of movie failures, and these are a lot of independent films. Not doing proper writing and production paperwork is key. You gotta send even if you wrote the movie, you gotta send your writing, your script to a writer. Let him critique it. Let him break that down for you. After he broke it down and everything, then you have to get help. You have to get somebody to counsel you to get this movie done, which you end up hiring a producer. The producer coaches you through everything because he does all the paperwork, and then he puts it all out for all the production, each part of the production. So it's very important to have the right writing done. The writer has to look through your writing and make sure that you have it movie quality. And that's why I'm here, to consult you step by step by any issues that's pertaining to your movie. I could discuss this with you and we could fix so many problems. All the issues that you've been going through, and you saying, I'm never going to get this movie done. Yes, you do have help. There is somebody out there to help you. The production paperwork, you need help with that production paperwork. That's key. That is your roadmap. I help you with your production paperwork. I help you with your editing. At the end, you're going to send it to an editor. Since I already read the script, I tell the editor and I discuss with you, this is how he's looking to edit this. I'm an editor myself. I do editing professionally. Film lighting. I help you with the film lighting. I send you the 3-point lighting and all the little different keys to get your lighting correctly for what you're looking for. Sound. Oh, sound is half of your movie. Understand that. Understand that sound is half of your movie. Without the sound, you're in trouble, buddy. You have a silent movie. Then after your sound guy does his sound correctly, because this is all in your production book where the sound guy is going to stand and everything. This is how it's done. It's done properly. That's so you could save money. When you do things right, you save money because you don't have to go and do a retake of something that you did correctly the first time. And the sound has to afterwards have to go into editing, and we have to go through 5 different steps. Without these 5 steps, I'm not going to mention them because that's my secret. You have to get these 5 steps done in sound in order to have quality sound that goes out to movie theaters. Nobody ever told you that you have to DS something? Those S's, that's part of your sound. You have to DS that. That was only one hint. And then I give you tips on how to get the most cinematic look on your movies. How you want to get this to look cinematic. You want this to look cinematic? Okay, this is what you want. All right, I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to coach you and teach you everything there is to know to get what you want in your movie. Your budget money, you start with a certain budget. Without the proper paperwork, your budget doubles, sometimes quadruples. No proper paperwork, the production is terrible. No proper production paperwork, your budget will double. Understand that. The only escape to all these headaches that most directors, writers, and producers go through is to get the proper production paperwork together so their movie can run smoothly and efficiently. That is your only escape to this. There's nothing else. You're gonna try other ways and you're gonna find out this is not gonna work. This is costing me so much money and it's not looking the way I want it to look. I wanted this to look so special, cinematic, nice. So let me help you from beginning to end, full production. Let me help you get it started. The result of executing this correctly. Let me let you know the result of executing this correctly. If you execute it correctly, you get the proper paperwork done. You get the writer, even though you wrote the movie. If you're not a writer, you're not a movie writer. Understand, send it to a writer. If you do make your movie without sending it to a writer, you might not like the way it came out because it's not exactly written movie quality. I'm just getting you to understand that. Is that you get director coaching every single month to have the best outcome. You get your directing coaching right there, man. You get all this to get the best outcome right here. I'll be right there step by step. And the best part, you will know down to the dollar and day how your movie making will work and be performed. And right now you're locked down. If you don't have the proper paperwork, you're not going to get the writing means nothing. The production, without the production paperwork, you're not going to make this movie correctly. Without a film production, you're not even going to make a movie. So to have a completed movie, it's not going to happen. So you need to crack the code, man. This is the way. Crack the code to your movies the hard way. It's 10,000 different combinations. Let me keep on trying. Let me keep on trying. Let me keep on trying. And you're going to be spending money, yo. You'll spend so much buku money. You'll be like, damn, man, I spent more money than I ever anticipated. And it's terrible. Wasting money. Wasting money on a producer who calls himself a producer has not produced you anything. Ask them for the production paperwork. It's supposed to be at least 3 inches thick if you're making a feature film. Yes, it's about 3 inches thick. It ain't no little pamphlet or a little folder. That's not how it's done. There's 10,000 different combinations. And you have unlocked it right now. You just unlocked your combination going through me. Opened it up. Who else wants a predictable production movie system? that helps them throughout the movie production every single month or till their desired situation is good. Who else? Who else wants something predictable? I already know what's going to happen in this movie. Everything's going to work out right. I got my coach with me. I got this right. Nothing's going to go wrong. Everything is on time. Yes, there is problems sometimes. Sometimes people get stuck in traffic. Your actor comes late. But these are the things that you have to expect during a movie production. You always tell your actor to be there 2 hours, an hour early. Let them rehearse in the car. You're supposed to be getting into character anyway. You don't get there 5 minutes before we start shooting. I want you fully into character before I even start shooting. Here's how this process works. Who is this not for? I'm going to tell you the people who this is not for. People who don't want to start and finish their movie production. This is not for you. People who don't want to start. They don't want to start their movie production because they don't want to do the proper paperwork or anything like that. People making excuses and complaints. We don't need no excuses. This is not for you. Don't make no excuses. You want to get this movie done? Let's go and do it. Don't talk the talk, man. You got to walk the walk. This is not going to help you. You're sitting there looking at the script. Make sure that you have somebody reread it, proofread it. Have a couple of people read it. This way, when it goes down that you're going to spend money on a production and producing and everything else that's going to make your movie, you know that you're not wasting your money. People are stuck in information gathering mode, and they're not prepared to take action and get results. People are just stuck. When you're stuck, man. People are not serious about making a movie and doing it. This is not for you. You're not serious about making a movie, and you're not ready to do it. The better the fit, the better the results. That's how I see it. If you want me to help you, you got to help yourself. You got to want to help yourself. I'm looking for people that are movie makers. I'm looking for people who want to make a movie. Not the people that talk, blah, 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 blah. If I wanted to walk around crap, I'll just follow a cow. You can't be one of those crap talkers. You have to get off your butt and do it. You have that script sitting there. How long that script sat there? Get the script up. If you're a writer, now it's time for you to make actions happen. If you're a director, get that writer. You wrote something. You're a director. You want to make this happen? This is the time. You got to get all that production paperwork ready before you can produce your movie. There's 3 types of clients that I would work with. I want to direct and complete their vision. Those are the clients I want to work with. I want to direct them and complete their vision. I want to be able to tell them this is what's going to happen and that this is going to be your outcome. You're going to get the outcome you're looking for. I want to show them the most efficient way to do their movie. And I also want to show them ways to save money on their budget. They had their budget lined up a certain way, and that you combine this, and this, and you put these days together, and now you just brought your budget down to half. So you just saved $20,000 on this, or $40,000, or whatever it may have been. I'll add you to my calendar. We'll set up an appointment, and then this will be a personal, custom-tailored, one-on-one strategy session with you and me. We will talk. We will find out what you are about. What are you looking for? This is where we really begin to work and figure out what you want and how to make it happen in the fastest time possible. But I am warning you. I'm warning you now. Time is a factor. And this window of opportunity will not be open for long at all. This window of opportunity is not going to be open for long at all. So you need to act now if you want to get this done. Go right below now and click to apply. Let's see if you even qualify. You might not be one of the people I want to work with. I pick and choose my own people. I individually choose my own people. I give you a questionnaire. I want to see if I want to work with you. And when you do get to talk to me, and I'll tell you the movies I've done. So now I'd like you just to go down there, apply now, see if you're qualified. If you don't qualify, then why bother? Just like I said, I just don't work with anybody. I just will not work with anybody. I gotta have people that are movie makers that want to go out there and really show what they could do and be profitable. You want to make money off your movie, not stick it on YouTube so everybody can look at it and go, oh, that's great. There's nobody looking for movies like that. All you do is stick on your trailer on YouTube. So go right now. Go below right now and click to apply. Let's see if I could qualify you. If I can't qualify you with me, then we won't work together. Thank you.